Again, my name is Cristina Figueroa.
And I'm going to ask you to spell that.
Figueroa.
Oh, okay.
And I will say it with that Latino flair, right? Figueroa. Figueroa, exactly. Last name Figueroa. Let's see. I am half Puerto Rican, half Mexican. Half. Born here in Chicago. So I've lived here my whole life. But my parents were born outside of this country. Puerto Rico being obviously an island, right? Still part of the United States, but outside of the mainland. They came to this country, and I was born long time ago. I went to school here, Chicago Public Schools, graduated from Chicago Public Schools, and eventually went to college here in Chicago. I went to Northeastern Illinois University, where I obtained a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Criminal justice. So what was my goal when I got my degree in criminal justice? I basically wanted to work in the courts or something to do with crime, working with crime. Then eventually I received my master's degree in public administration. Public administration means eventually I'm hoping to be able to move up the ranks and be able to be a boss in some type of government agency maybe. I currently work as a probation officer. Who does not know what a probation officer is? Well, a probation officer is an officer who supervises, watches people who have committed crimes, went to prison, or maybe they didn't go to prison, and the judge has indicated to these individuals, you must follow the court's orders. And those orders are on a piece of paper, and some of those orders say you cannot leave the state, you have to have a job, you can't use drugs, you can't have any weapons, you cannot commit another crime. Things like that. There's things they may need. They might need some assistance, some counseling. They may need assistance going to school. They may need assistance trying to find a place to live. So what I do is I help people to try to make better choices so that they don't wind up in trouble with the police again, so that they don't go back to jail, go back to prison, so that they can lead productive lives, be good citizens, maybe get a job, maybe get that high school diploma they weren't able to get, help their families find a better place to live. Maybe they're sad and they need counseling. I can help them find someone they can talk to. So I do all of this to help them to be better people and make better choices. And I also teach them different things. I teach them how to make better choices, okay? Because what we have learned is that your behavior is dictated by how you think. Okay? And I might do a little exercise with you guys to teach you how simple it is. How many of you have ever heard your parents or someone say to you, think twice before you do something? Ever heard that before? Okay. Think twice before you do something. There's a reason for that. Okay? And I want to do a little exercise. Let's see if this works. How many of you have ever walked down the hallway and someone's walking past you and bumps into you? Okay. Somebody tell me, give me an example of something that happens when someone bumps into you.
You might get mad if they do it on purpose.
Okay, you might get angry, you might get mad. Okay, and so if you get mad and angry, what might you do?
You might get mad and start yelling at them.
You might start yelling at them. Now, yelling is the behavior, right? That's something you do because someone bumped into you. Now, let me ask you this. Someone bumps into you, you yell. But before you yell, there's something that goes through your mind. Tell me what that thought might be.
Not to do it.
Well, but what's the thought before you yell at that person? So if someone walks up to you and bumps into you, what do you think? What's the immediate thought?
I don't know. Who did it?
Who did it? Right? And so then you think, who did it? What's another thought?
Why did he do it?
Why did he do it? Another thought. And I'm going to get back at them. So then, here comes the behavior. And the behavior is? Yell at them, or you push them back, right? Right. Say that again? Physical. It might turn into a fight, right? So, let's trace this again. The event happens. Someone bumps into you. You can't control that, can you? You cannot control what somebody else does. So someone bumps into you. Immediately you have a thought. Who does he think he is? Why did he do that? What's his problem? So when you have that thought, you might then yell at the person or get into a fight, right? Or do something inappropriate. Do you think there's a negative consequence to that? No?
Yes.
Negative consequence to that, right? And what's give me an example of a negative consequence? Staying for recess. Might get grounded. Get in trouble. Detention. Suspended. I mean, all of these are negative consequences. Who likes negative consequences? Expelled, yes. No one likes negative consequences. So I'm going to teach you how you're going to think twice. Because what we teach people is stop at the thought. Okay? So let's go back to the beginning. We had the event. What was the event? Say it. Go ahead. Somebody bumped into you. Do you control that person?
No.
No. Who do you control? Yourself. So now that person bumped into you, and you have that initial thought. Who does he think he is? Stop. Now think twice. How could you replace that thought? Maybe take a deep breath. Probably was an accident. Okay, now that's the behavior. So we're still at the thought. How can we change that thought? Count back. That's a behavior. We're still on the thought. Relax. Still a behavior, but okay. So let's take it with what you said. Maybe it was an accident. So if now we replace that thought to, who does he think he is? Wait. Maybe it was an accident. What do you think the behavior might be if I switch my thought?
Maybe taking deep breaths or getting water.
Yep. What else?
Talk it out.
Talk it out. Say sorry. What else?
Ask him if it was on purpose.
Ask. Was it on purpose?
Walk away from problem.
Walk away. Now, what is the consequence to any of these behaviors? Might apologize. Yes. What else? Positive, right? Will there be a fight?
No.
Who likes that kind of outcome? Where there's no fight and everything's okay. Who would prefer that outcome, right? Did you see how we stopped at the thought and we took control of the situation and we took control of what the ultimate outcome was? We are in control of us. That's what I try to teach the people that I work with. That you can make good decisions and you can control the outcome of most situations if you stop at what you're thinking. Because your thinking is going to affect the way you behave. Always. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So my goal as a probation officer is to make sure that people are successful, that they are working, that they're good at home, that they never commit another crime, and if they never commit another crime, who's safe? Everyone. Everyone is safe. Therefore, I've done my job in protecting the community, and I've also done my job in helping somebody to lead a better life. And so as a Latina female, there's not a large number, there's many women in the system. We're trying to increase the presence of Latinos and other minorities because in my profession, at least here in Chicago, we are really the minority in our office. And unfortunately, when it comes to crime, unfortunately, the majority of the people that we see tend to be minorities. So we really wanna make a difference and teach people that you can be the best that you can be if you get an education, if you make good choices, if you get a job, if you think before you act. And I tell people, think twice. Any questions